What is up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm talking about how I became a full-time entrepreneur by the age of 23.
Everything starts with our thoughts. Thoughts dictate our beliefs, which then dictate the way we treat and view the world, which then becomes our repeated being, and that is our personality, which then is our personal reality.
I don't want to be that guy, but hit like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, because it really does help out. All right, so quick caveat, I'm not going to be that guy and tell you like, yeah, I invested in Bitcoin in 2016. Now I'm freaking balling. Whatever you see on social media where people become millionaires overnight, driving Lamborghinis and living this lavish lifestyle. It's not, that's not my story. It's really, to be honest, I'm going to be raw and real about it. I'm going to give you everything that I went through and what I've learned in order to get to where I'm at today. So then hopefully you can relate and apply it. Because in reality, it's not complex. It's actually fairly simple, but it doesn't mean that it's easy. So if that's not your jam, if that's not for you, you're looking for a quick fix, it's not here. So I do not recommend you move forward with this video. So it all started in Bogota, Colombia, where I was born, and I migrated over here with my mom around the age of 4. And we really didn't have much, to be honest. We really came here with pretty much the clothes on our back and a couple of suitcases, and we really were just hoping to have. Honestly, I wasn't really hoping for anything. I was 4, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? My mom was hoping for a better lifestyle for her and for me, and I'm very grateful for that decision that she made because it's put me in the position where I am today. So I really saw her grow. I saw her while I was growing up really hustle. She was going to school at night learning English, and then during the day she was cleaning toilets, cleaning bathrooms, cleaning rooms, all these things that a lot of people don't want to do. And we pretty much went from hopping from couch to couch or garage to garage or even living in our car from time to time. So then fast forward, we were in Miami. Then my mom met my stepdad, got married, and I was living. And at the time, we moved to Broward County, which I kind of spent most of my adolescence. Went to middle school, high school there. But since I was in elementary school, my mom always kind of instilled within me that, like, even though she may not have the money to buy the things that I wanted, I have the ability to do it. It's not a no. It's actually, you can do it, but there's some work.
You ready to put in work?
So instead of buying me the things that I wanted, she'd actually buy me a box of chocolate, which is about $20 you can get at Sam's Club. And I would sell them while I was in school, from elementary school to middle school. And then by the time I was in high school, I kind of got my own job. But that, from a young age, instilled entrepreneurship. Like, I fell in love with it. Like, I love business, and I was able to actually leverage it. Like, I always, when I'm in a position where if I don't have money, I feel like I can just create it. And because I could just, worst case, I can always just buy a box of chocolate and sell it, right? So I ended up having that instilled from a young age, but then also I witnessed my parents not really doing too well with their money. They didn't really steward it well. I kind of grew up like thinking that money was limited, that I actually, had to save it, had to hold on to it. And, fast forward to high school, I was a really bad kid. I was into some really stupid things. I did a lot of drugs. I was smoking weed, doing psychedelics, like literally high 90% of the day. I was barely ever sober, but it wasn't until my senior year where I realized that I actually have to make a decision that's going to impact the rest of my life.
It's time for me to get an adult job with adult people.
And I was going to go to college initially, but it wasn't until sitting in my stats class, teacher's name Mr. Peacock, he was telling us about a stat that actually 27% of people actually get a job that is remotely close to whatever major they pursued in college. Damn it! For me, that was like the ultimate decision where I'm like, I'm not going to college. Like, it didn't make sense to me. Like, I was thinking, like, I'm going to school for 12 years, and then you got to tell me that I got to do another 4 years, pay for it, go into debt to maybe get the job that I want.
What?
It didn't really sit right with me. It didn't make sense. Honestly, at this point, I didn't like school. For me, it wasn't, I didn't feel like I was like really retaining stuff. I hated solving fake problems. I hated doing that because it felt like it wasn't real. So I decided I'm not going to college. Quick caveat, I'm not anti-college. I feel like if you're pursuing a profession like going into the medical field, being a lawyer, or being an engineer, all those things are necessary in society, and you need to go to college for sure, 110%. You can't be an engineer being self-taught on YouTube. So moving on, I decided that I'm not going to college. I'm not doing it anymore. But I wasn't not going to do anything either. I'm not going to crash on my mom's couch and just freaking, bum out for the rest of my life.
Why not?
I was like, well, I want to get out of Broward County. This is not it. Like, I don't want to stay here for the rest of my life. Nobody there had what I wanted. Nobody was succeeding. It wasn't the environment that I wanted to grow up in. I actually didn't really grow up with any role models. And so I was like, well, I need to leave. So then like I didn't have money. My parents didn't have money. Definitely didn't have the luxury to just like go to a different state for a year and take a break. Like, I had to actually figure out what way am I going to get out of here and sustain myself. So I was like, well, I can just join the military. I can join the military and they'll pay me to leave. So I did that. I joined the Marine Corps in 2016, and right after I graduated high school, and I ended up doing all the schooling, went to boot camp, did all that stuff, and then I ended up being a marksmanship instructor primarily. Did a lot of cool things, met a lot of cool people, and it really helped me strengthen my social skills, my ability to work with others, learn about other people from all different places and all walks of life. It was definitely an experience that I would never take back. So at this point in my life, I'm pretty much halfway through my career in the military, and I've been saving all my money up because I, again, was instilled with the mentality of thinking money is limited and I didn't want to spend it. And I just really never got in the habit of buying stupid things or going out and spending money on drinks or the strip club like most Marines do. It wasn't really my scene. So it was very easy for me to save money. I just didn't really do much. I just worked, kept my head down, and I was just stacking it up. And I hit a point where I realized, okay, well, I know that saving money is actually, not going to build wealth. It's not going to get me to financial freedom. It's actually kind of stupid in reality.
I don't believe this.
You're fighting against inflation, which is something you cannot control. So I decided to then ask my peers, ask people who were above me, people who made more money than me within the Marine Corps, like, okay, like, what should I do with my money? How should I invest it? This, and that. And nobody really had the answers for me. So then I ended up deciding that, okay, I'm going to learn how to at least manage the money that I have. I read the book Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey, which was it's all right. It's a good starting position, to be honest.
I don't give a crap about your feelings.
Actually helped me understand how to really task out my dollars and how to actually budget, things like that. So around this time, I actually make one of the best decisions in my life, and that was marrying my wife. She is actually someone that at the time I was with since high school. I met her when I was a senior, and she stuck with me through the whole time. And by that time, I was like, I want to marry her, and I want to be with her for the rest of my life. So we got married, and then from there, I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna rent out in town, but I'm not gonna just rent out any apartment complex and just get like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, or 1-bedroom, 1-bath. I was like, let me actually be intentional about it. Let me rent out a guest house on a piece of property that is actually huge, because if I do that, I'm going to be in close proximity to someone who knows what they're doing with their money for sure, right?
Why didn't I think of that?
So I did that. Low-key kind of sketchy, don't really recommend it today, but I did that, and then I ended up getting a good deal on a guest house that was very small, 1 bed, 1 bath, and I was able to get close to the person who owned that property, and to this day we're great friends. My wife ended up being their nanny, and we are close with their daughter and their little boy. They're like family to us now. But because of that decision, I ended up reading the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a phenomenal book, which I recommend, which kind of got me in the flow of thinking, okay, cool, I need to own property, I need to start a business, I need to do all these things, especially if I don't want to be in the Marine Corps for the rest of my life, or at least for the rest of my remaining 15 years. So then I ended up reading that book, and then from there I was reaching about the 11th month mark on renting, and I actually made the decision to then buy a home. And I told the guy that I was renting from, like, hey, I'm ready to buy a home, and he was all about it, and he taught me everything he knew, walked me through the process, helped me buy a home.
Wax on, wax off.
He even actually bought the furniture for my home, and now at the age of 20 was the first time I got a taste of what it felt like to be a homeowner. So I bought my home at the age of 20, and from there I was like, I want to keep doing this stuff. I want to keep owning land. I want to keep multiplying my money. So then I found a mentor to teach me about trading stocks.
Number one rule of Wall Street.
Specifically options, and I started doing that, and that was awesome. I did it for a while, but for me personally, I ended up just not liking it as much, just because of the factor of having to be so attached to the media and watching the news consistently. It kind of took a toll on me mentally. I knew the media is just like, honestly, like bull, and they're just pushing a propaganda and all this fear. And it's, I know that, I'm aware of that, but if you watch it all the time, it kind of takes a toll on you. Whether it's like secondhand smoke, you know, you can know that smoking is bad, but if you're sitting around someone who's always smoking, you're gonna get secondhand side effects. So that's kind of what I felt, and I had to, you know, make a decision of like, okay, cool, let me put my money in the stock market where I don't have to manage it as much or always be watching the news. So then from there, I was like, okay, cool, I actually want to start a business. I want to be able to make money, but also help people, have some type of something that's gonna make me money, but with a purpose. And I didn't know where to start, to be honest. So I ended up just doing what I did with, you know, doing like trying to get into real estate, trying to get into the stock market. I found a mentor. So then I found a mentor who's, you know, still to this day one of my mentors, and I ended up learning so much from him in business. I have an online franchise that I do that really scaled, you know, my ability to actually build teams, communicate, and all these things that actually prepared me to then create my own traditional business.
That's a high roller, dog.
But before I did that, I joined a business acceleration program here in San Diego called Pathfinders. So I'm always like trying to improve. I'm always willing to pay money to learn more. And that course that I took really shifted a lot in my life. It was not only just about business, but like just limiting beliefs that I had. And I was a freelancer for a long time, doing it on the side. I was doing video and all these things, and it was cool. I did it since I was like probably like in middle school. And I ended up like always feeling like I was never good enough to do that and get paid for it. So I always put it on the side. I'd do it either for really cheap or free. And I never thought I could start a business with it. But when I did this course, I felt the need to do that. I felt like I was good at making things look good in simple terms. And then I was pretty much met with a decision. I had about a year until I got out of the military. And I was actually doing my Pathfinders apprenticeship program and going to EMT school at the same time to be a firefighter, because that was my original plan, was to get out, be a firefighter. And I ended up completely dropping out and going all in with my business, right? So I was already doing really well with real estate, already doing really well with stock market, and already doing really well with my online franchise, that I decided that I'm not fully able to like survive off of it, but it covers at least half of my expenses. And so I at least have some type of leg up. So I decided to fully just jump off the cliff and figure it out on the way down. And I ended up trying to take my freelancing to the next level. So I was doing more jobs, had more clients, but then I ran into a problem where I realized that I'm just doing videos. I want to be solving problems. I don't just want to be making cool videos. I want to be making videos and content that actually help a business owner excel or make more sales or whatever it is that they want. So then I decided to start an agency. I want to be able to not only just be the only one making the videos, but actually construct teams and have strategy and all these things that I felt like was my element.
I like this guy.
And then from there was when around 2020, the end of 2020 was when I birthed Optic Element, which is my agency. And in 2021, which was last year, was when I officially got out of the Marine Corps and was able to run with it. And it was honestly the best decision that I've ever made. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. Like I was honestly scared. I wasn't like, yeah, I'm good. Like I was just recently overcoming a lot of insecurities, lack of confidence, and I finally got over it, barely over the line, and then I'm like just jumping off the cliff, and it was scary. I was anxious. I was very like stressed all the time. Like, am I going to be able to pay my bills, maintain my lifestyle? All these questions that were going through my head. And especially because I'm married. If I'm single, I don't mind living in my car for a couple of years, but my wife is not cool with that. So I had to figure it out. Like I had no choice. I had to bet on myself. And for me, honestly, The way I got through that was I personally leaned into God. My relationship with God is something that I honestly hold close to me. It's something that I always recommend people to look into. If it's not your thing, it is what it is. But for me, that was a huge part in that season of my life, was I needed to like really lean on something bigger than me, because I was so beyond stress. Like I don't know if you've ever felt this type of anxiety or this type of stress, but it was new for me. I've been anxious and stressed before, but at this level, where I was like, well, are we gonna lose our house? I was thinking all these things, and in reality, like if I didn't do that, I don't know where I'd be, to be honest. I'm being raw with my story here. So because of that, it put me in the right mindset. It gave me this peace to be able to then do the things that I need to do, task out. I was like, making phone calls, making sales, being able to sell my skill and all these things. And then now I'm in a position where I haven't even been in business for a year yet. And, we're already scaling. I already have employees. We have multiple clients at high levels. We're always dealing with millionaires in high earning companies. And we're in an amazing place right now. And it's crazy that it's only the beginning. And for me, it really was a huge decision to jump off that cliff and really decide to bet on myself. Like I was almost not gonna do that. I was like, maybe I should lean into security. Maybe I should just, be a firefighter or be a cop. But I knew that if I did that, I would still run into the same problem that I did when I was in the Marine Corps, was my time. Because I built a business part-time while I was in the Marine Corps online, and it was great, but I was still limited by time.
I need more time.
That's the biggest thing that I had to really jump out and actually bet on myself. So here we are now. I'm making a YouTube channel, and my mission is to actually share my story, share the things that I've learned along the way, and be able to hopefully inspire or instill different thought pattern and actually bring freedom out of overcoming the human default, which are things like, anxiety, and then making decisions under, our feelings, and not actually pursuing our dreams, or actually doing things out of discipline versus out of emotion, and all these things that I've learned along the way and still learning. My goal is to share that with you. So that is my story. I hope you enjoy, and feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. Do what you got to do to get connected, and stay tuned.